Driver trying to get away from the police did not count on that little problem there in the middle of the interstate. This morning, the driver who had that car is behind bars. News Channel 5's Dan Kennedy just got an update from police. And Dan, we now know the driver's name, right?
Yeah, that guardrail got in his way, Steve. Good morning to you. That driver's name is Dontarius Rippey. He's identified as a 24-year-old, and this morning he's facing several charges and is in jail on a $40,000 bond. All this happening about 2:30 early this morning. Police were trying to pull Rippey over for speeding. Rippey did pull over to the side of 440, and then as the officer got out of his car to approach Rippey to check for his license and registration, that's when police say Rippey took off and tried to do a U-turn in the median to get away from police and switch directions on the interstate. But as you see in the video, that didn't exactly work out too well. His car got stuck on the guardrail. Police caught up with him, cuffed him, and then took him to jail, where this morning he's facing 2 counts of possession, a misdemeanor. They say they found marijuana and cocaine in the car. They also found a gun in the vehicle, and they say he's now charged with being a felon in possession of a weapon because he is also a convicted felon. In addition to those 3 charges, he's also facing evading arrest charge. That carries a $15,000 bond. By the way, he told police he just got off probation. Reporting live this morning from the Midtown Hills Police Precinct, Dan Kennedy, News Channel 5.
Thank you, Dan. A man has died after crashing his motorcycle in Hermitage late last night. News Channel 5 Sophie Nielsen-Coldings near the crash site this morning. And Sophie, we understand that there were no other vehicles involved.
Police say it was just the one motorcycle driving this way down Tulip Grove Road when he lost control and ended up in that grass over there. And police say that he was pronounced dead on the scene. Metro Police say this crash happened around 11:30 last night. This is just north of Chandler Road in Hermitage. Police shut the road down as investigators spent a couple of hours out here. They were documenting the scene, securing the scene, taking measurements for reconstructions. Metro Police say the preliminary investigation tells them the speed may have been a factor in that crash. Keep in mind, the investigation's only been open for a couple of hours now, so they'll continue to try to get some details. The victim, as I said, was pronounced at the scene, but we don't have his name for you yet because Metro Police have to get in touch with his family before they can release his name to us. And when we learn that, we'll certainly pass it along to you. Live in Hermitage, Sophie Nielsen-Colding, News Channel 5.
Sophie, thanks. And more breaking news now. A burglar is on the run after stealing cigarettes and cash from an Antioch gas station. And the owners think he's done it before. Someone broke into Armor Fuel and Save Market on Bell Road about 2 hours ago. Police say they got in through a window that was boarded up from a previous burglary. We're still waiting on surveillance video to get a better look at that suspect.
We have some more breaking news. We're watching a crash on Broadway sends a person to the hospital. This was late last night at the intersection of 13th Avenue South. We're told a motorcycle collided with a pickup truck. The passenger on the motorcycle went to the hospital. Should be all right, though.
Some fast-thinking roommates helped save a man's life after an intruder broke in and stabbed him. Well, it happened over the weekend on Russell Street in East Nashville. The roommates spoke exclusively to News Channel 5. They heard Austin Stuck calling for help in his room, and that's when they went in and found him stabbed.
We were out no more than an hour and a half. Came back, went to bed, and woke up to that. People think it's not going to happen to them, but it can. And I knew I was one of those people, so I'm just lucky to still have his friendship.
And they are lucky to have theirs. The guys held Stuck's wound and performed CPR. The attacker is still on the run, but police are looking for this man. They say he may know something about the incident. If you recognize him, call Metro Police.
A Murfreesboro man is dead after a crash on 840. Highway Patrol telling us Manfred Grill was driving eastbound near mile marker 60. He veered off the roadway. Investigators believe the 50-year-old tried to overcorrect and the car just started flipping. As soon as we get more information, we can update that story on the official cause of the crash. Meantime, a Nissan employee fighting for life after an incident at the plant in Smyrna. That employee, as you see, life-flighted to the hospital yesterday in critical condition. Nissan officials are not giving us any details yet. Hopefully we'll get more today and update this story for you.
Well, more issues this morning for Rutherford County Sheriff Robert Arnold.
Information from the state comptroller's office showing that Arnold hired a family member as a deputy. However, that deputy was not a U.S. citizen when he was hired back in 2010. And in Tennessee, you have to be a citizen before you can become an officer. Major Terry McBurney did not become a citizen until just this year.
But then when you start seeing some of these tentacles reach out to other individuals in the department, it's very disheartening and very concerning about who is actually running the show over there.
Sheriff Arnold is currently behind bars on federal corruption charges. You can read that comptroller's report on newschannel5.com.